What's good with YouTube? You already know, Big Flock from a convict's perspective. You already know what time it is, coming directly from the county jail. Hey, I'm going to smash, dash right on through with a whole lot of energy, so I hope everybody's having a positive and blessed day. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support you, boy, and hit that bell notification one time, man, for future fire content. So let's get to it, man. We're going to keep on pushing this, man, all positivity, man. So we're going to talk about something that I think would be kind of an interesting topic, man. It's been approximately 21 years between the last time I was in a GP mainline type of environment. Now, I mean, I'm going to talk about the differences from back then till today. And there's a lot of differences, especially me being out of state. First and foremost, the last two times I was on a GP mainline. As you guys know, in California, I was validated as a prison gang member, and I was locked down, restricted, did tons of shoe time. Okay, and then every time I would usually hit the county jail, they would house me in the fourth floor, or places like Santa Rita, they would house me in the hole. So the last time in my county jail, which is Santa Cruz County Jail, I was actually in the GP mainline module, was back in 2002, February. I just came back in for gang participation. Some shit happened at an apartment I used to stay on right there by where Santana Row was. I used to stay right there in the apartments when they were building that at that time. And I ended up catching a violation for gang participation. They had found in the Constitution, they had found certain stuff that I wasn't supposed to be having in a room that at that time I had claimed that we were renting the room out, but they kind of did an illegal search and seizure. But still, it was enough to basically violate my parole at the time. Okay, and this was in February of 2002, right before my oldest daughter was born. Okay, so I remember I had hit the county jail at that time. I ended up in what they call Siberia, which at that time I think Siberia was on the third floor at that time, right? And it was new because at that time I had, just been out for about 17 months. I paroled from corporate issue, and I was out there with, the Carnal Chico Rose and other individuals out there at that time. And so I remember when I hit the unit, right? I was in basically the first cell in Siberia. And as you're walking across, there's about, I think at that time, I not 100%, but I think there was maybe 7 little pods at that time. And I remember that the place wasn't really established at that time. And so I remember when I got there, I found out which soldados were there, which bros were there, which you had Big Al from Eastside Hoods, and then you had another homeboy named Lonely Boy, LB, right? With the 2 bros that were there. So basically there was issues prior to me getting there with an individual I remember named Topo from Los Locals, right? And so he was kind of, utilizing his status and trying to press up on, the younger LB. Big Al had just got there when Topo had just either left right around the same time. So I ended up having a meeting. I told LB that if you're going to press these issues on Topo, I'm going to be going to Quinmas, but you have to file a report to Dancing Bear at that time. DB was right there as far as, I think DB was probably either in Little Max or in Second East. So at that time, we were also having issues with someone that was trying to pretty much pump the homeboys in one of the pods. There was an Africano there. So the politics were like I said, it was, Santa Cruz County has always been a Norteño household. Basically, their backyard is basically ran by all the Northerners there. So I just remember this was the last time in my county jail being on the mainline was back in 2002, like I said. And just the way it was, there was still unity, there was still carnalismo, there was still respect. Certain comics were going to push up on Raza. None of that stuff would be accepted, And the other time that I was on the mainline was back in 2003. September 16th, I got sentenced to 32 months. I was out on bail. I just got out on bail for about 4 months. I lost my Romero motion. And I ended up, before that I was in Little Max, like I said, with Chuco and Huicho, and basically because I caught a case with the Carnal Huicho at that time, I was no longer eligible to be basically on any type of mainline. When I went through the first time in February 2002, I was able to sneak out even though I was a gang member, okay? and had status and whatnot. But when I caught the case because of Huicho, it pretty much put a fucking red flag anytime I hit the county jail. So, me returning after being away from basically the Department of Corrections, I've been away for maybe 17 months. I paroled in 2002 on a parole violation that I had caught previously. And so it had been about 17 months. So when I get to San Quentin in September of 2003, right, my C-file is not there. So automatically they did not, there wasn't no record that I had paroled from the hole. There was no record that I was validated, and I was able to wiggle out there. I was able to go from West Block all the way to Donner section, and Donner had overflow at that time. And I was there with basically Baby G was there from Metal Fair, Smokey was there from Soho, and a couple other young bros at that time. And I remember the one that had it was someone that was working when I had the county jail was an individual named Sparks from Salinas. And so when I got there, I remember Sparks got at me off top and was like, okay, this dude has to go for the hole. And it was an order that was coming from basically from Smokey from Salinas. There was a dude from Cocoa County that used to be a northerner and was trying to run wood. And so I remember I told him straight up, okay, we'll have this many people out there strapped, ready to drop their pieces, because as soon as we hit this dude, basically the whites are going to jump because they don't know that we're just trying to hit this particular target. I said, we got to be on guard that we're not going to accept anybody trying to jump and trying to save this dude. He's a target, we got to hit him. But before that can happen, right, I ended up getting snatched up. I ended up finding out that I was there, and when we came back from dinner, they snatched me up and put me in one of those dummy cages, and next thing you know, I was a tier above where I just came from. So I got locked up. So it's been 21 years since I was out there on the Mainline, since I was out there programming amongst people on GP or anywhere. You know, I have a long, extensive history of being in the shoe. So how is that for me today? It's different. It's a trip. And I was talking to my cellie and telling him that, you know, where I'm from, a lot of us that push a hard line, and when I say push a hard line, play prison politics or basically are associated with a particular group segment that we're real strict. We have a lot of discipline. It's common for, like, you know, those that strive to be elite, get up at like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, and work out, get their work on, bust down the cell, and always conduct themselves in a professional manner, and, you know, always have the cell looking nice and always be respectful. Those same qualities that I had 20-some years ago on the Mainline, they still exist today. Even though I'm trying to be a better human being and all that, even though I partake in Bible studies and I try to mentor people in here that maybe are younger or need the help, I'm still doing the same things I would have done 20-something years ago. But I'm doing it more in a positive sense, as opposed to back then it was all about, you know, criminal activities. It was all about pushing an agenda that wasn't positive. There was nothing about bitter or hinting that I was doing back then. In fact, I was adding to all the corruption and all the chaos and all the misleading. Today, I'm no longer part of that, but I'm still here in a jail environment. And like I said, it's different. Like people say, it's no longer the same how it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. And times change, you know. But like, look at right now. I have a tablet in my cell, right? I'm able to go look at things online. I'm able to listen to I have a radio in the cell as well, a little Walkman. These are things that I never had 20, 30 years ago, whether I was on the Mainline or in the hole. And that's another thing. They don't call they call it GP here, general population. Okay, they don't call it Mainline. They have the IHP stuff I talked about and the partial IHP. But, you know, convicts are going to be convicts. Inmates are going to be inmates. And, you know, you always got to be cautious and know how to conduct yourself. And I know how to wiggle. I know how to wiggle around people. I know how to conduct myself. I know how to act. You know, that's never going to change. You know, so I still run a similar program that I would 20 years ago. Like, for instance, I got a cuenta of my whole tier, because I come out just from the top tier here. You know, there's 18 Raza, there's 9 Africanos, there's six whites, and there's 2 natives. That's the cuenta up here. Why? Because that's just me naturally on my safe mode. Security always starts within yourself. And even though I'm not trying to push the line as far as, you know, that gang mentality or those movements, I'm still going to be conscious of my own surroundings. I'm still going to do the same things, wear my shoes when I come out to sell. I'm probably one of the very few people that still wears his shoes to the showers. You know what I'm saying? It's just natural instinct. And the thing is, that about here, which is fortunate, is I do wear my shoes to the showers, but they have locks on the showers. So when I'm in the shower, I can lock it, and I don't have to put myself in a prone position to where, hey, I could be attacked. I'm still going to always be on my toes. I'm still going to be doing the same things and having the same security cautions that I would 20-something years ago. Like I said, I still keep a point about who's on my chair, who could potentially be a threat, who's a potential friend. And I try to show everybody common courtesy in doing my time, because I want to do my time as safely as I can without having any type of fucking disruptions or any problems, because right now, my whole focus is about rehabilitating myself. I'm on my path to redemption. But I still got to realize that, hey, this is jail. Things happen. We had an incident that happened here today. I'm not going to talk about it. It had nothing to do with me, but it happened on the bottom here. Stuff happened. And therefore, I'm not going to forget all the stuff that I learned over the years of being a convict. There's a lot of times when I see certain things, or I'm able to analyze people's actions, I'm able to call certain things what someone's going to do or what they're about without even having the details. And it's not intuition. It's called experience. It's called being one that's done time and seeing a lot of things. And, being away from a jail environment to where you're programmed around other convicts, you got to remember, the last time I was in any type of really jail or doing time was years ago. I hadn't played pinochle in over something like 25 years, believe it or not. I'm out here playing pinochle and playing chess and doing all the things that I wasn't able to do for years. So, yeah, it is a little bit of an adjustment. And in places like this, regardless of, where I'm at, doesn't mean I'm not going to be on my toes. Doesn't mean I'm not attentive to my surroundings. All those things are going to be first and foremost, because I have had past experiences, back in the 90s and 2000s, to where when I was young in my career, I was kind of slacking because I wasn't paying attention. And just because I'm on a different, like I said, path in my journey doesn't mean that I don't have to have those same type of security precautions. When I used to school young soldados, I used to always tell them, security always starts within yourself. Therefore, I still got to apply the same things that I taught people and how to secure myself day in and day out. And like I said, it's different states. Like I said, I got a tablet, I got a radio. It's been 20-something years since I've really been able to program with other convicts. Like I said, I was always found down. And the very few times that I had came back to Santa Rita a couple times, right? I was in the hole, naturally. And in the hole there, it's just, you have a little bit of everybody there. So being here today, man, like I said, man, it's a change. Like the certain things that I hear about, the different rackets they have as far as how people generate their hustles. And, there's a little bit of differences from here in California. Like they have like people that store out stuff to where like they charge a percentage and stuff, like you can get like a bag of coffee, but you got to pay that bag of coffee back and plus 35% of whatever you got, or 50%, of what you borrowed. And you got some people in here, grown men, that actually do laundry. You know what I'm saying? That will actually wash your clothes. You just pay them an item or two. So there's little hustles like that are a little bit different from California, but doing time is doing time. And like I said, whether this was 20 years ago or 20 years today, my mind still has to be disciplined. I still get up every day and work out 6 times a week. You know what I'm saying? For an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. I work out, I get my money on. I still roll my mattress, right? I still bust down my cell. I'm still conscious of my security, every movement. I never come out my cell without having my shoes on. I never allow anybody to get within arm's distance too close to me. You know what I mean? These are the things that for years have always kept me alive when I programmed in jail environments. And I'm not going to change up just because the environments are more lax nowadays. Just because people are a little bit more kicked back, and don't take things as serious. I still got to have all these same things that I've always done my whole life. I still got to do it while I'm in here. And that's just how I do my time. It doesn't mean that I don't, have a sense of humor or joke around. Yeah, there's certain people that I've gained relationships with that, that are, nothing solid people in here, but at the same time, I'm in the belly of the beast. there's a lot of evil people here. There's a lot of convicts. There's a lot of people who wiggle different. The things that I've seen 20, 30 years ago in the system is the things that I see here. The same stuff, people getting it dead, you know what I'm saying, rolling it up, or, people having issues and stuff blows up. Next thing you know, you got shit that has to be handled. Same stuff happens no matter where you at. This is how things operate, man. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try to get some more interviews, man. If you guys are interested, from some people in here and get some more stories out there and, continue this positive push. But 20 years, man, like I said, it's the last time I was on a GP mainline type setting. And, man, it's totally different, man. Being in your late 40s and stuff, sometimes I realize, man, I got to slow down a little bit. I'm not in my 20s no more, I can't sit there and do a bunch of burpees or do this and that, man. Sometimes I got to, relax more. But right now, I'm on that push right now. I'm feeling good. I got that spiritual awakening that we all talk about, man. I haven't felt this good mentally, physically, and spiritually in a long time, man. And I'm kind of surprised. Some people may say, hey, he's only on that plight because he's locked up. See, the thing is, what you guys don't realize is I caught a case, and miraculously, I got let out. And at that time is when things started to change with me before I came back. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started having relationships with my family, with my kids, and just things were going in a different direction for me. And I was tired of the way I had been living. So I wanted to seek something different. All the change in me started to happen when I got out by accident. In the process of me being out, like I said, there's a lot of things I was trying to fix, and how you say it, the right words. I was trying to walk away from things I had to walk away from clean, is what I'll say. And so I can go on and move forward with my life. And in the process, I'm here with a few charges right now. But that has nothing to do with what I'm doing today. Because the last time when I was clean and sober for almost 7 years, I found a spiritual path at that time. I started going to church. I was going to meetings, and that right there, I remember that. I remember how I traveled everywhere. I went to the Grand Canyon. I went to Mexico. I went to Tombstone. I went to San Diego. I went to Washington. I went to L.A., Hollywood. I was everywhere. New Mexico. All these places I went within a 7-year period of me being sober, and I was enjoying life. I was being a father. I was being a parent. I was being a PTA dad, and I missed being that person, and I allowed things to get in the way of me being that person. And so that's why I'm on the path that I am today, because I not only want to be that person I was, I want to even be a better person than that person was. And I know I can do it. So that's why this walk that I'm walking today, it just didn't happen like, just one day I decided. I've been feeling tired for a long time. And when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you decide to find a whole different way to live. So this whole thing started when they accidentally let me out. The relationships I had with other people, family and my kids, and I started to talk to my daughters and whatnot, and started talking to the wife and everybody else, and I started to realize, wow, there's a lot of things out there that I need to change within myself and do, and that's why I'm on this push today. And I don't know where my life's I don't know what's gonna lead from here. I don't know if it's gonna, if I'm gonna be out in a year from now, or if I'm gonna be out 10, 15 years from now. I don't know. But all I got to do is continue to be positive and accept this change and accept that I don't want to be that person I was the last 18 months, 2 years. The one that was struggling with addiction. The one that would get sober for about a month or two and then fall off. Because I had so much sobriety for such a long time that I need to get back to that. With that said, your boy Flaco, the Compass Perspective, I'm out.